Hey. Tab for the out of this world story from our space. Girlfriend cheated on me. So I, 31, have been dating my girlfriend, 24, for a year. I found out she's been cheating on me the whole time we've been together with her ex-husband. I'm honestly freaking disgusted. I don't trust anybody. As it is, then the person I do trust does this crap. Looking back, I thought she was sweet and caring, but now I realize it was all an act. She'd get worried or insecure that I was cheating. Then, there were a lot of other red flags as well. She would even talk about her sister's boyfriend cheating and berated him, like she wasn't doing the same crap. We both have kids. Her, a girl and a boy, 3 and 6. I have a boy, about to turn 6. I feel bad for my son because he's going to continually ask for her and her kids, but he'll get through it. I will as well. I just lose faith in humanity when crap like this happens. Why are people like this? I feel like my heart has been tore the F out. I broke up with her last night by basically telling her off and telling her I had proof, and then I blocked her after she hung up on me. I'm not putting up with it no more. Just weird to think I meant nothing to her. Update. She emailed me apologizing. I haven't responded yet. She gave me a sob story about how she was raped when she was younger and that she has a problem saying no, etc., etc. Then she asked if I wanted her kids to come to my birthday party for my son, and how we should exchange belongings. She said she would stay in the car. I'm thinking that'd be the best time to exchange. I'm fighting the urge to call her names and stuff, and saying hurtful stuff, tell her about herself. I've been gaslit this whole relationship. She's codependent. Her ex is a narcissist. They deserve each other. The only people I will miss are her kids. I feel bad that they're going to get raised by 2 crap parents. Update 2. After a deliberation, I decided that my son is young and there's no point in inviting kids he will not see after his birthday party. As harsh as it sounds, I would just need to find a way to explain to him why they aren't coming if he asks. Inviting them might put me in a bad mood, and I would like to have a generally good disposition that day, and he will be distracted with other kids. Since my ex lives an hour away, I replied to the email like so. Quote, person, you can just ship me my stuff. I can ship you your stuff. It's best if you guys don't come. End quote. I honestly feel bad for her kids and the life they will grow up living. 2 selfish parents, a mom hopelessly addicted to pot, a father who only uses his kids to screw his ex-wife during exchanges and only takes them when it's convenient for him. They're literally so wrapped up in themselves that they can't see the damage they're doing. One of her kids lies constantly and she wonders why. He's going to pick up on his dad being an abusive manipulator, pick up on his mom always wanting to play the victim and be somewhat of an abuser. He already doesn't respect boundaries. I wish I could have picked up on this earlier, but you live and you learn. I'm so unattracted to my ex. Even the last few months of the relationship, I didn't want to touch her. Now it all makes sense why I was feeling that way. I'm a distrusting person by nature, but when I love someone, I look past their flaws and give them the benefit of the doubt. I should have been wiser. I'm going to be more assertive and confident in setting these boundaries next time. I may have acted oblivious, but I know what a healthy and unhealthy co-parenting relationship looks like. Says I have one, and dated someone who doesn't. Update. So I found out she was cheating with her kid's dad on Friday. She emailed me Saturday trying to get pity from me on her effed up childhood, which I offered to pay for therapy for, but she chose to smoke weed and cheat on me instead. Come Monday morning, she texts me good morning, saying she was getting ready to ship my stuff, then proceeds to say she wants to talk to explain her side about what happened. I corrected her to what you did. I agreed to talk later that night, then ignored her calls and texts the rest of the night. I realized I don't care what she has to say. I'm in the right and she's in the wrong. She's the type of person that needs to be the victim, not the victimizer, so it doesn't compute, and she needs to gaslight me into a reaction so she can feel okay about herself when I rip her a new one. Not happening. Whatever lies she spun in the last 48 hours to appease her conscience, she can keep to her dang self. She could have told me Friday when I confronted her, or Saturday, or Sunday. That's how I know she's full of crap. Our first reaction comes from one thread killer one. If it helps, you probably didn't mean nothing to her, or that you weren't good enough for her to want a relationship with you bad enough not to cheat. Cheating is a mind screw, and almost 100% of the time not about the victim. Also, people who cheat will tell you they felt like they had a good relationship when they cheated. You can't try to understand it from the perspective of a faithful person. Acceptance is a hard thing, but I hope you can work toward an understanding that your value is in no way diminished because the person you put trust in turned out to be a cheater. Our next comment from Try Assistance 9196. Hold your course. You don't want to be a part of her train wreck of a life. To paraphrase Mark Twain, never argue with crossed out stupid people, cheaters. They will drag you down to their level and then beat you with the experience. Next comment from Diet Watermelon Vodka. You're doing the right thing. As the affair partner is her child's father, he can never be out of her life, and therefore reconciliation will never be possible. Cheating aside, people that are determined to be the victim are exhausting as friends and aren't capable of being a true partner or support to anyone. They aren't even able to be truly good parents because of how it impacts their worldview. For this alone, you are better off without her. The OP replies, yeah, that's my read on it too. I don't want to give her the satisfaction of irritating me on a call, then she wins. Moving on. Why him of all people you picked him? So I was married 18 years, 3 amazing kids, a beautiful house, and financially stable. My wife wanted to be a stay-at-home mom and my job provided that. 7 years ago, we needed some electrical work done on the house as he suggested a friend she went to school with. His dad and him did side work and gave me a good deal. When he came over to do the work, he was very professional with me. My wife and him talked about people they went to school with and what they are doing now. She was not all flirty with him or anything, just normal conversation. To be honest, I had nothing to worry about. He was not a looker, did not have a very good personality, talked about gaming all the time and how he moved back in with his parents because he wouldn't hold down a job. Not a person my wife would be attracted to. Anyways, 2 years later, I find out my wife is having an emotional affair. The red flags were there, but as us survivors know, we don't want to believe it. I wish I would have found this sub back then. One big red flag was she changed her passcode, and when I asked, she said the kids kept getting her phone. Okay, I can buy that, and she gave me her code, but then always had it on her after that. So on D-Day, she left it on the coffee table and the suspicion got the best of me, and I did go through her phone, and that's when I found the messages. At first, I didn't even know who this guy was, it's just that they were talking and had been for a while. Well, she came out of the room and caught me on her phone, and that's when all hell broke loose. I asked her to tell me what was going on, and she denied everything. She demanded her phone back and not to read the messages. I said hell no, and locked myself in a room so I could read what was going on. I only got to see some of the thread because she got on the computer and deleted the Facebook Messenger. And was I pissed. Okay, the story is dragging on. Long story short, she came clean, trickle truth, like pulling teeth. They had an emotional affair and a physical affair for 2 years. I was like, who is this guy? And she tells me it's the guy that did her electrical work. Holy crap, I totally forgot about him. And I was like, seriously? You picked him to cheat on me with? You've got to be freaking kidding me. So this whole rant comes to this. If you're going to cheat on your SA, don't you at least upgrade? I mean, I'm no Don Juan, but come on. I'm the greatest father, husband, and lover she's ever had. Her words, not mine. She's just lost her way is what I'm told. So here I am 5 years later, still trying to figure out what I could have done better. What was wrong with me? What he had that I didn't? I ask myself all the time if I was to cheat on the person I love more than anything, she better be the bee's knees. Okay, I'm done. Thanks for listening. A first response comes from Frilla de Gorilla. Most cheaters, affair down. It's super common. Your mindset is also common and supremely flawed. You think her affair had something to do with you being bad at something and him being better at it. The honest truth is that there's nothing you did or didn't do to cause it to happen. The problem is with her, not you. It doesn't even have anything to do with him. The problem is still with her. Did you divorce her, or did you stay with an unremorseful cheater? The OP replies, thanks. I try to tell myself that every day, but it's tough. It really lowers your self-esteem. Nope, she's gone, but we do get along for the kids. Our next comment comes from Primal Skink. If you're going to cheat on your SA, don't you at least upgrade? The criteria for an affair partner is not the same as the criteria for a permanent partner. The affair partner is supposed to be a temporary amusement, so their looks, jobs, mannerisms, etc. aren't too much of a concern as long as they provide the wayward spouse with ego kibbles and/or sex. The OP replies, I agree, but if I was to cheat, you better be worth it. If I'm going to lose everything. Tempo Allegretto has the next comment. This doesn't make any sense to me either. I caught my cheating ex with a woman who was not pretty attractive at all and had a pretty bland personality. If you ever figure it out, then let me know. By the way, did you reconcile or divorce? Moving on. Thanks to my wayward wife for making my life better without her. This is my first post after reading several experiences of what people have gone through being on the receiving end of being cheated on. My wife at the time, 48 female, and me, 53 male, she met up with a so-called friend from middle school that reached out to her on LinkedIn in August of 2020 and didn't come home that night. I was contacted by his wife on Facebook last January, who explained to me what happened between the two of them, and she provided proof to me via email. Of course, my ex lied about everything. Once I found out, I asked her to move out because for me, that was a deal breaker. After a year of living through a night of depression in 2021, I decided to go get help after a suicide attempt at the end of February of this year. I hyper-focused on the content of those emails between the two of them until I pretty much had them memorized. Come to find out, I am bipolar, one after being put on a 72-hour hold in rehab for the attempt. I was on SSRIs for years, and it turned out they were making me manic. I just want to thank my now ex-wife for doing what she did because we have met up for dinner and afterwards, and I saw her for her true self, which gave me closure. I now have a psychiatrist and a therapist that have helped me with all of this. I recently met someone again that I went to high school with, and we like each other, however taking things very slow. For the individuals going through the same thing, I have good news for you that things get better after time and the process of getting there completely sucks. I wore myself out with the blaming myself out with the sadness and thoughts of the past. I now have hope and things are really looking up, so please hang in there because I am now happier than I've been in a long time. Hell, I even joined a gym recently and that's also done wonders. She just wasn't worth it in the end, and I never want to see or hear from the ex again. A first comment comes from, "Sometimes I am lost." Good for you in knowing your condition. You can treat it with medication, therapy, eating right, exercising. I know because I am bipolar 1 too. And you met someone. Awesome. Out with the cheater and with the new.